So you're taking metformin, but you're exhausted. The weight still won't budge. You're dealing with brain fog, and maybe you even have these tingling sensations in your extremities, in your hands and feet. If any of that sounds familiar to you, you really need to watch this video. This is not an anti-metformin video. Actually, I'm going to give you a complementary nutrition therapy you probably really need. I'm going to explain why your medication might be affecting your nutrient absorption and exactly what you can do about it so you can start to feel better and get the most out of your medication. If you're new here, my name's Gina. I am a qualified nutritionist with 20 long years of experience, so I can help you with nutrition information to complement your healing journey. But please do speak to your doctor when it comes to your medications. It's important that you work closely with a good physician. Metformin is genuinely an effective drug. It's prescribed for type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and insulin resistance, which is basically prediabetes. But what your doctor probably didn't mention is that metformin works primarily in your gut. And the very same mechanism that makes it so effective is also what depletes key nutrients over time. So metformin does three things. It reduces glucose production in your liver. It improves how your cells respond to insulin, which is what we want. And it slows glucose absorption in the gut. The last part is the important part. Because it works in the gut, it interferes with how you absorb certain nutrients. Not dramatically and not overnight, but quietly over months and years. And one of the downstream effects of that is nutrient deficiencies over time. The deficiencies it creates makes you more tired, more foggy, and more inflamed, which makes the very lifestyle changes that your doctor probably mentioned that could reduce your need for the medication feel completely out of reach. So let's talk about what's being depleted and what you can do about it. The biggest one and the most well-documented is vitamin B12. This is the depletion most people are never told about. Metformin interferes with how your gut absorbs vitamin B12, and it builds gradually over time. The frustrating thing is that the symptoms of vitamin B12 deficiency are almost identical to type 2 diabetes complications. So they're very vague. And when you're telling your doctor about these, they're probably thinking that it's the complication from diabetes, right? So these complications of vitamin B12 deficiency include tingling and numbness in your extremities, brain fog, and exhaustion. It also creates low mood and memory issues. Most people, and honestly many doctors, assume that these are just diabetes progressing. Often, they're not. Often, it's vitamin B12 deficiency. To get more B12 through your diet, though, you can include foods such as beef, lamb, and liver. They are the highest sources. They're rich in B12. Also, sardines, salmon, tuna, and mackerel are excellent if you like fish. But you can also get B12 from eggs and dairy. That'll give you a moderate amount of B12. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, plant-based sources are actually unavailable because B12 is concentrated in animal products. So this is a situation where you might want to talk to your doctor about testing for B12 levels and maybe looking at supplementation. If you do decide to supplement, look for methylcobalamin. It's significantly better absorbed than other forms of vitamin B12. The next one is folate, and folate and B12 actually work quite closely together in the human body, but they come from completely different places. Folate is less talked about than vitamin B12, but it is just as important. So metformin can impair how your body absorbs and uses folate, and folate is essential for cell repair, red blood cell production, very important, and mood regulation through its connection to serotonin. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter that creates a nice mood, right? Deficiency shows up as fatigue, low mood, poor concentration, and, surprisingly, mouth sores. It's also worth knowing that some people carry a gene variant called MTHFR, which makes it harder to convert folate. And metformin compounds that problem even further. So if you're on metformin and you have that gene mutation, there is a real need to be tested and possibly supplement. So which food sources will give you folate? Well, you can go for a large handful of dark leafy green veggies and do that every single day with at least one meal. So we're talking things like spinach, kale, rocket, or romaine. They all work well. Lentils, chickpeas, and black beans are also excellent sources of. See what I mean about how they come from a completely different place? This is why meat and vegetables together in a meal are so wonderful. You can also get folate from asparagus, broccoli, avocado, and eggs. They will all contribute. And where possible, get your folate from food rather than folic acid supplements. The natural form is better used by the human body than a supplement is. Now, let's talk magnesium. Now, this is a big one, and we've all heard so much in social media and the press about magnesium over the last couple of years. And this is where it gets particularly frustrating. Insulin resistance itself depletes magnesium. And then if you're taking metformin as well, it depletes even further. So people on metformin are often getting hit from both sides of this equation. Magnesium is involved in over 300 processes in the human body. So you can see how very important it is. It regulates blood sugar, which is ironic given that people are on metformin to regulate their blood sugar in the first place. And it also supports sleep and wake cycles, as we've all heard, muscle function, stress regulation, and even thyroid hormone conversion. So very important. When magnesium is low, everything feels harder. Poor sleep, muscle cramps, anxiety, constipation, headaches, and fatigue. And it gets depleted even further if you're under chronic stress, if you tend to consume alcohol regularly, and if you're still eating excess sugar. If you're on metformin and you're not following a low-carb diet, that would be my number one suggestion to you. Those three things are extremely common in people dealing with these conditions. For magnesium, a daily handful of pumpkin seeds is one of the single best and easiest habits that you can start to build now. Dark chocolate, I would say dark chocolate over like 80 or 90% because you don't want all the carbohydrates in the chocolate, right? You want all the polyphenols and the lovely compounds that are going to enhance your health. Leafy greens, again, so magnesium and B9, so folate, come from your vegetable sources, and your B12 comes from your animal sources. So if you're getting a nice mix of both animal products, meat, dairy, fish, and you're getting a nice, well-rounded, balanced vegetable diet as well, including nuts and seeds, you're going to be getting a diet rich in minerals and all of the nutrients that you need. So focus on spinach, almonds, cashews, black beans, and edamame, which I've never eaten in my life. I don't know about you. Tell me in the comments, have you ever tried edamame? I believe it's a Japanese tradition. And avocado, of course. Two more worth mentioning are zinc and CoQ10. So both of these minerals are integral in your metabolism. So at the very end of metabolism, zinc and CoQ10, essentially, in a very simplified way to explain this, they take our food and turn it into ATP, which is the body's energy system. ATP is, you could think of that as the money of the body, right? If we don't have enough ATP, we're not going to have energy and we're going to feel very fatigued. And now there's studies even linking decreased ATP production to things like Alzheimer's and dementia. So very important. The excretion of CoQ10 and zinc is increased over time. So excretion just means that your body's ridding itself. And zinc matters for immune function as well. So things like wound healing, insulin signaling, and as well as hair health and hair growth. If you're getting frequent infections or your wound healing has slowed down and you've noticed that, or if you're noticing that you're losing hair, it's possible that you're dealing with low zinc levels, and it's worth looking into. So the richest food sources for zinc are oysters, followed by pumpkin seeds, beef, chickpeas, and cashews. CoQ10 is less established in the research, but definitely worth knowing about because of the ATP connection. It's essential for cellular energy production, as we just said, and heart health. You would have heard that the most, probably. And some research suggests that metformin may affect it. If fatigue is your dominance, this is worth raising with your doctor. You'll find CoQ10 in things like organ meats, fatty fish, beef, broccoli, and cauliflower. Mostly, though, in animal products because animals also generate ATP, just like we do. Here's what the full picture looks like when you put all of this together. Someone on long-term metformin could be simultaneously low in vitamin B12, folate, magnesium, and zinc, and each deficiency makes the other worse. And that's because everything in our body works together. Low B12 causes fatigue, so you move less, your metabolism slows down. Low magnesium disrupts sleep, which raises cortisol, which raises blood sugar even more. So the metformin has to work even harder. Low folate drops your mood, which can lead to emotional eating, which of course spikes blood sugar, because we all know nobody's going for, a handful of greens, are they? And around it goes. This isn't about blaming the medication. That's not what I'm saying. It's about understanding your body well enough to actually support it and give it what it needs. To keep it simple, here's what to focus on every single day. Have animal protein at least once a day and make sure that you're getting enough of it. If you could get animal protein through fish, meat, or dairy products twice a day, that would be even better. Eat a handful of pumpkin seeds for magnesium. Have a large handful of dark leafy green vegetables to get your folate and magnesium. And cut back on sugar, processed food, and alcohol, because these are the things that really deplete us. And please, if you have these symptoms, it's worth asking for a magnesium and zinc and folate and B12 test, especially if you've been on metformin for quite a while now, like say over a year. These are simple blood tests to do, and knowing your levels could actually really help you to turn things around. You could start feeling better pretty soon. That exhaustion and brain fog, those strange sensations in your legs, the ones that keep you up at night and make you feel like crap, they might be what your medication is quietly doing in the background. So leveling up your diet might actually really help. Food is how you can fill the gaps that your prescription can't actually treat for you. If you're also taking a GLP-1 or if you have thyroid issues, check out this video that I've done. The nutrient connection runs even deeper, and it's worth watching that to get some more information. And if you found this helpful, please share it with somebody you know who's also on metformin. They could probably really use this information as well. I'll see you in this video next.